This is the Healing Our Sight podcast, where we discuss vision issues and healing strategies from the patient perspective. The goal of this podcast is to create an awareness of the diverse types of vision issues people experience, to highlight the types of help available, and to open a dialogue between patients to show we're not alone in our vision struggles. As a patient who gained 3D vision at age 54 through vision therapy combined with strabismus surgery, I feel uniquely qualified to offer a hopeful, balanced perspective on the possibilities. Please use the link in the show notes to send me a message, and thanks for joining me today. Welcome to the Healing Our Sight podcast. I'm your host, Denise Allen, and I'm so excited today to have my guest, Dr. Pilar Vergara. And I'm going to just go ahead and introduce a little bit about her. Pilar Vergara Jimenez received her degree in optometry from the University Complutense of Madrid in 1989. In 1993, she was awarded a Master of Optometry and Visual Training from the International Optometry Center, COI, where she also taught for 4 years. Also in 1993, in collaboration with Dr. Pilar Plau, she provided vision therapy to Spain's Olympic women's shooting team. Pilar was the first Spaniard to become a fellow in the College of Optometrists in Vision Development, COVD, in the United States. She was a member of its International Examination and Certification Board, IECB, from 2002 to 2007, and was the first international optometrist to hold this position. In 2015, she became a fellow in the College of Syntonic Optometry, FCSO, and a fellow of the Behavioral Optometry Academy Foundation, FBOAF, being again the first Spaniard to qualify for fellowship. And I want to tell everybody here, it takes a lot of advanced training to become certified with all of these organizations. She's also the international director of the Santa Vergara Institute, teaching behavioral optometry globally. She has lectured in 25 countries, co-teaching with Robert Sannett and others. Pilar is the author of 3 books. The first book is entitled Tanta Inteligencia, Tan Poco Rendimiento, which is translated as Is Your Child Intelligent but Underachieving? It's the first book in Spanish for parents and educators on the relationship between vision and learning problems, and has also been translated into Portuguese. She's also written the first published book about strabismus and amblyopia aimed at both professionals and the general public, which is entitled Crossed and Lazy Eyes, which has now been translated into English and Chinese. And her third book is entitled The Extraordinary Power of Vision, 100 Answers That Can Change Your Life and Your Child's Life. Published in March of last year. It's only available in Spanish, unfortunately. So I'm anxious to get my hands on this in English at some point. She is well recognized and has received several prestigious awards for her excellence in behavioral optometry. She maintains a private clinical practice specializing in behavioral optometric care in Albacete, Spain. She specializes in vision development, amblyopia and strabismus, syntonic phototherapy, and neurobehavioral vision therapy, especially for brain injuries. She has 2 lovely children, Natalia and Rodrigo. She defines herself as a lover of her optometric profession. So welcome today, Pilar.
Oh, thank you to invite me. It's an honor to be here.
Well, the honor is all mine. I've been looking forward to this for a very long time, and I keep thinking, "Why did I wait so long?" Because we met 2 years ago, when I went.
Yes, in CBD meeting, I think.
Yes, when I went to the meeting in Toronto, and it was such a delight to be there and see you teaching with Robert Sannett, and then you gave me a copy of your book, which I was thrilled to receive. I had just finished reading it the month prior in an ebook, and so having a physical copy was just a treat. And I loved the fact that you debunked all the myths about vision in your book.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Uh,
you very much.
how did that book come into being?
The which one?
The
The
crossed
cross
and
and
lazy
lazy
eyes.
eyes?
Yeah, crossed and lazy eyes.
Why I write it?
Yeah.
Oof. It's a interesting question. Um, I'm I'm this type of person that also is trying new things, and if something don't like it, I don't like it. You know, I don't know
Mhm.
how to say it. And I felt very badly when I saw the little kids, or not so little, with a patch
Mhm.
for years, for years. And I thought, should it should be another way to treat this.
Yeah.
Should be another way to treat this. And I was making my own experiments like a clinician because first of all, I'm a clinician.
Right.
And I didn't want to share with anyone else because I thought maybe I was doing something wrong, you know? So I didn't want to patch. And uh, even I didn't share with my dear mentor, Dr. Shannon, and that is like my father at the beginning because I thought, oh my God, how I tell him I'm doing this. And uh, then I began reading some researchers that began uh, going out like the 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 problem in amblyopia and strabismus is in the brain, is a binocular competition, and that my brain exploded, and I thought, wow, so it's clear to patch one eye is not the way. I was thinking, and then I began to think someone has to tell to everybody that there is another way to do it. But I realized also that there is not another way to do it. Because
Mm.
although the researchers were saying the problem in amblyopia is the binocular competition, and everybody was happy when I was in other countries, in congresses, and I speak with the optometrists. Oh, have you read this? Oh, yes, we are so happy. And I say, have you changed the way you treat the amblyopia? You know, they didn't.
Hmm.
They didn't. And then I understood why. I arrived a moment I understood why. And I understood that the reason was because although the researchers say that is the reason, they don't know how to do it.
Mm.
Because it doesn't mean that they have to train binocular. Huh? Only it is that the reason to have the problem is a binocular problem. But how I treat it, then that.
Yeah.
So I began to do two things at the same time. I began to write a book and I began to keep with my experiments, you
Okay.
know, developing a way to treat it. So I wrote my first draft. When I sit down with Dr. Sanet, I share with him, and he told me, "You cannot publish this." And I say, "Why?" Because the, many people are going to be against. And
Mm.
I say, "Well, someone has to say what is happening with that. The treatment is completely old, and people are suffering." And he said, "Why you?" Why
Yeah.
you? And I said, "Why not?"
Right.
So she told me, "You are wrong. You are wrong. You have not to publish the book." So I was in a balance at the beginning, very, in a crisis. I was working for a year then, but instead of say, okay, I'm not going to publish, I keep working. So the second year, we working with my draft. I sit down, Dr. Shannon again. And then I said, I'm sorry, I keep working with my draft. Here you have. So he read it and he said, I'm sorry, the same opinion. You cannot publish this.
Mhm.
So we were in the same position again.
Yeah.
And my imbalance was bigger. I felt very badly and I didn't know what to do, but I was working for 2 years. And not only in the book, I also was working in my clinical experiments, all.
Yeah.
And I, after have a crisis for, I don't remember, 1 week, 1 month, I I thought to keep working. But I want that Dr. Sanet tell me, yes, I support you, because for me it was very important
Mhm.
in a professional way and in a personal way. So um I spoke with him the third time. And yes, the third time. And also I wanted his help,
Right.
because for me was not easy to organize some part of the book, especially the scientific part, because I'm so clinician. I, that is it's different.
Yeah.
So one day we were in the car. That is uh, um, a truth anecdote about how the book was see the world. We were in a car in front of my old house in Madrid, and we were talking about this. He was saying, "Why you don't do it?" Blah 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 blah. And then suddenly we saw one of my neighbors that was about maybe 10 years old or 9 years old. That he was with his father going down the steps, 3 steps, with the father's hand very strong, and touching the steps with the foot like he was blind,
Mm.
and the other hand was to the a holder. He was in my office before, so I
Mm.
knew that the visual acuity was less than 2400
Okay.
because he was in my office. But he didn't like my approach, and he come back to the ophthalmologist, and then the ophthalmologist patched the whole day.
Yeah.
And he was like a blind boy.
Yeah.
And in that moment, my tears began to go to my face.
Mm.
I remember very well.
Yeah.
And Bob too. Bob too. And then that day, in that moment, he said, I support your book.
Wow.
That was like that.
That's
I'm going to support your book. You are right. Someone has to say to the world that there is a new way to treat that. And we don't have the only, if we only had this way that in the past, okay, but we have new ways, we have new research, we have, so that was the story. and because we have to go deeper, deeper, deeper to study to publish the book, that helped me and helped Dr. Sanet to begin developing a protocol to treat amblyopia. That was alive for years, and we improve and change, but we start to organize the information because the book, because we study a lot to publish the book.
right. Wow, that is a powerful story. I I totally I'm with you. It's the whole thing. Who's gonna do it if you don't do it, right? When I decided to start my podcast, it was the same kind of a thing. There's no patients talking about what patients should be doing or how they can have success or what all the options are. There was no podcast about it. And so I said, okay, it must be my job.
Yeah, good for you and good for the world. Yeah,
Well, hopefully
exactly.
at some point when more people can find it, right? Um, But I think that this is such an important book, and it's so clear how you explain everything, and there's so many great case studies in it of the people that have been, helped by following the protocols that you've designed. And I I love the part in there where you talk about all of the outdated treatments that people are still using, and I see them all the time when I'm on these, strabismus support groups on Facebook. They'll be talking about, "Okay, how do I get my child to wear this patch? Should I use atropine drops? Um, when do I
Surgery.
when do I go for surgery?" Yep. Um, and, what about prisms? My eyes are eating the prisms, and they're not working anymore, and I need stronger ones. And then they'll say, should I try Botox? And I just shake my head because it just makes me crazy.
Yeah, but there is not enough information. They don't have all the options. I always say the power is the information.
Yeah.
So if I you when every week I have many patients with strabismus, amblyopia, everything, and they all of them, or maybe 95, they were first in the ophthalmologist. So they come to me to listen a second opinion.
Hmm.
And I said to them, my approach is completely different. And I'm going to evaluate your child. I'm going to explain everything and to answer all your questions. But I want you to be clear. You cannot be in both approaches at the same time.
Right.
If you choose to follow the ophthalmologist approach, hey, patch, do the prescription, do surgery. But if you choose my approach, it's going to be without patching. It's going to be with my prescription that I do different, very different.
Mhm.
And I'm not going to recommend to you surgery. And
Right.
I'm going to recommend to you other tools. So um, you have to choose. And it's not to put them against the wall. It's that I need they understand that also in this type of things, there is more than one choice.
Right.
And most of the people only know one choice: patch and surgery. And I think it's unfair because
Yeah.
then they cannot choose.
True. So, are there any cases where you actually recommend that, say, an adult has surgery?
Me, I never recommend it
Okay.
because I don't believe in the, you know, when Dr. Sanet and I, we teach this together, in many countries, he
Mm.
always say, speak about that. And I say, well, it doesn't mean that you have not to recommend it. I don't recommend it because I don't believe on that is the solution. You understand?
Mhm.
So I cannot recommend something that I don't understand the approach. If the problem is in the brain, is for me is like when you in Spanish we have the letter R and we say carro, we say I don't know jarrón.
Sure.
Many children don't know how to put the tongue, and then they don't say this letter, and they go to a speech therapist that and the speech therapist teach them to do it. They No one cut their tongue or anything in the tongue. They understand that it's the brain, that they don't know how to put the tongue, and it's the same with people who cannot walk because they have had an accident, a traffic accident, for instance, and they're in a wheelchair because they cut the spinal, you know,
Mhm.
and they understand that cutting the muscles in the legs, they're not going to walk again because the problem comes from the brain.
Yeah.
So everybody understand that. And then I say, if most of the cases, 95, not 100, okay? 95, only 500 has a problem in the muscle. That could be the group that maybe can be helped by surgery, okay? The other, and I say maybe, uh,
Mhm.
the 95% is a problem in the knowledge, how to to organize the information in their brains to coordinate both eyes. How cutting the muscles are going to help the brain to organize this? It's a aesthetic surgery. So if you understand that and you accepted that and you understand that it's not related with function, I'm okay. I don't have any problem.
Yeah.
But the
Well,
problem that I see is that the parents don't know that.
yeah. Well, and I think if you're talking about a child, it feels a little different to me than for myself, because I don't know if you're aware that I actually had a lot of vision therapy, and then I had surgery, and then I had more vision therapy. and that's the only way that I
Well,
got to my result.
that is in my book also. I am if you make the decision to do the surgery, okay, then I would say to you, okay, do BT first, do the surgery after, and do BT after. Why? Because the surgery is going to work in the motor part, and what happened with the sensorial part?
Mhm.
No one is going to help. So
That's
we can do that part,
yeah, and that's
and
why I
yeah,
did
and
it that way, because Dr. Davies and I had done everything we possibly could in vision therapy for years, you know, and my
well,
eye
there
would
is some
not
cases.
straighten. It was just stuck where it was, it just I couldn't get it to relax to where it needed to be so that I could do any of the activities. And right after my surgery, I was back the next week and I could do everything.
Perfect. I think that I had some cases like that also, and I don't recommend the surgery, but they take the option at the end because they see that really we don't solve it.
Mhm.
And when they take the option, then I explain that, okay, we have done surgery, BT. Now you take the option to do surgery. I'm going to be supporting you because it's your choice. And now we are going to do BT after.
Right. Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
that was the thing that worked for me, but, my daughter only needed vision therapy, so I would have not ever chosen it for her, you know?
Yeah.
She did
Mm.
great with just vision therapy. So, what do you say to the skeptics who tell you or who tell your patients even that they shouldn't do vision therapy because it doesn't work or it's just a placebo or something to that effect? What do you tell those people?
Well, I see many of these people here also. And first, I'm old enough not to be fighting, you
Yeah,
know?
right.
And when I was younger, I tried to convince everybody about what I believe so strong.
Mhm,
Now, no. Now I'm more calm. And then what I do is just to talk, okay? Not just so, no passion. No, no, no. I just talk.
mhm,
And then I explain to them that there is researchers very strong from about 15 or 20 years ago.
mhm,
It's not something that I make up. It's not something that people make up. It's something that is there. And the scientific researchers saw very clear that the problem is in the brain. And that is, no one can say it's not true
mm,
because it's not one research. It's hundreds. I don't know how many. That is the first thing.
okay.
Second, they say, but if that is true, why the most of the optometrists and ophthalmologists keep doing the same? And I say, oh, that is a very easy question because to yes, it's very easy. It's because to change anything in the planet, not vision, needs time.
Mm, yeah.
Needs time. So if they have been they have been using the patch for 300 years.
Mhm,
Uh, I think that they are going to change in 1 month, 1 year, 2 years. No, that is not going to happen.
yeah.
That is not going to happen. And also, that is also very important to explain to them. An ophthalmologist is a doctor who have studied medicine. Okay,
Mhm,
so their main goal is to treat eyes health. Okay, and I'm very thankful to God and to the planet and to the universe and whatever that they exist
yeah.
because they are wonderful to treat our health eyes, you know?
Mhm,
I have a vitreous detachment in my eyes and I go every year. I'm very happy with my ophthalmologist. But, but
mm,
there is a point like is strabismus that there is not a pathology.
Right.
It's not. It's not. When they can move the muscles, and then it's 95% of the cases, most of them are a developmental strabismus, and they study diseases and they don't study the function. It's not their job.
Right.
They don't study when they're at the university. So they have some tools to fix this type of problem, that is the surgery, the patches, and the classes, and they use what they have,
Yeah.
and they understand what they understand. So is because they are not smart? Of course not. Of course not. They are wonderful, smart people. I don't understand how to do a surgery.
Right.
I don't understand how to put drugs. Why? Because I don't study that. That means that I'm not smart. So I consider a smart person,
Mhm.
but I study different things. So what I study? I study the brain, the relation between vision and brain. And other thing is, all optometrists in the planet study this? The answer is no.
Mm. Right.
And I always make the analogy with psychologists. I think it's very easy to understand. Comparing with optometrists, all the psychologists are psychologists. All.
Mhm.
And they study different approaches, I did psychoanalysis with a psychologist for many years. I'm very happy. I recommend it.
Mhm.
There is a many different type of psychologists, the Jungianos, psychoanalysis, behavioral, many types, and everybody understand that.
Mhm.
So in optometry, it's the same. Some optometrists who sells glasses or make refraction and do primary care with contact lenses and all these type of things. Others who are more involved in low vision, and others that are more related to developmental vision and neurofunctional vision. And I belong to this group.
Right.
So this group is a minor group. We are few. In Spain, no, in the world. In the world.
Right.
Why? I don't know. I can make hypotheses, but I don't know. I think that is something deeper. You have to study a lot, and you have to have enthusiasm, and to be okay, to be in crisis all your life.
Mm.
Because you are out of your comfort zone all your life, and you need a type of personality,
Mhm.
and it's not good or worse. I'm happy to have my colleagues who do low vision, and happy to have the primary care, and happy to have, all. But I'm this type of people.
Yeah.
That I love to be studying every day. I love to go to a new course to understand new things. And uh, when I began studying the brain related with vision, then my brain exploded. And I thought, wow, 55% of the neurons belong to the visual system?
Mm.
Really? Are you kidding? No, I see researchers, and also all the zones in the brain are related with the brain, with the vision. What are you doing? What are you saying? Well, and then I understood the power of our profession.
Yeah.
And yes, the power of our profession. And I thought, what? I have to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you every day in my life. You have this beautiful profession. Why? Because I can help so many people in a way that anyone else can do it.
Mm.
So I feel very, very fortunate.
Yeah. Well, and I love that not only do you practice it, but you teach others all of the time how to
Oh,
improve
yeah.
their own practices.
But that is very selfish. You know why?
Why?
It's very selfish. Because if I only a clinician, I can help maybe in all my life, I don't know, 30,000, 40,000, I don't know how many. But
Right.
if I teach people, each one can help how many in this life. You understand?
Yeah.
So I was teaching for 30 years in many countries, different countries. With I was very fortunate to meet Dr. Sanet 30, I don't know, 2 or 33 years ago, to be with him for years. So when you are so close to Bruce Sprinting, I call him Bruce Sprinting, a monster of the optometry,
Mhm.
and you learn and learn and learn. Not everybody has this opportunity, and I took the opportunity to keep sharing what I learned from him, and not only like a professional, also like a person.
Mhm. Nice. Do you have some favorite success stories that you wanna share with my listeners today?
In amblyopia or in anything.
Anything in vision therapy. Yeah.
Well, I have many, 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 many. Really, if you tell me choose one, I think I cannot. I can tell you one recently, one from this week, if
Okay.
you want,
Yeah.
that touched my heart very strong.
Mhm.
I I live in a small city in Spain, very small. So you cannot fly directly. You have to go to Madrid. I moved from Madrid to my home town, and it's 1 hour. And people from other countries come to visit to me,
Mhm.
and I feel a big responsibility with that. Imagine.
Yeah.
So um, some people from Romania came this week, and the mother is a physician. The boy had, when he was 1 month, a big, big, big stroke.
Mm.
90% of the brain was dead.
Wow.
Wow. Now he's about 10 years old or 9 years old. So the mother wrote to me because I attended other people from Romania, Serbia, and the mother speak with another mother. Okay.
Mhm.
So I said, well, you come from another country. I cannot promise to you anything, as you know. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. I understand. I saw the kid. Well, the mother was wonderful. The kid, wonderful. Nystagmus, low vision, um, and cerebral palsy, you know, with problems in one side of the body. A terrible, terrible balance, terrible. He cannot read, he cannot write, you know, he cannot speak, yes, that. And he doesn't want to wear the glasses. So the mother wasn't sure that the glasses was okay. The glasses was with myopia.
Mhm.
So nystagmus, um, low vision, and -5 more or less of myopia, and he doesn't wear the glasses.
Mhm.
You on all these things, okay?
Yeah. And just so
So
that the listeners know what you're talking about, can you just explain what nystagmus is? Just quickly.
yeah, nystagmus is when you see that the eyes are moving from one side to side, boom, 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 boom. They cannot control the movement,
Mhm.
and that reduces that the visual acuity is going to be down because the one part of the retina that we need to be fixed to see well,
Mhm.
they don't have it. That.
Yeah.
So it is very difficult, and also the stroke, and the balance, everything was very difficult.
Right.
And I learned I have something inside myself that is always I if you don't try, of course you are not going to help this person. You
Right.
need to try.
Right.
That is it's in my brain all the time. So I have many tools in my toolbox. that is something I love a lot.
Mhm.
I have syntonics, optometric phototherapy. I have special uh, functional lenses, neurobalance lenses that are not related with the refractive errors.
Okay.
We have also the lenses, the regular lenses. We have BT. We have sectorial occlusion. We have filters. We have on. Okay, many things.
Sure.
So I was with a kid. I prescribed some special lenses to him, and suddenly he began to have balance for first time in his life.
Wow.
And he didn't throw away the lenses.
Mhm.
He the prescription he was wearing was okay, and he put the lenses with the prisms. He he began to look. He began, and the mother was crying.
Wow.
I was crying, and then they told me they were going to be here. Yes, 2 days. Okay,
Mm.
Monday and Tuesday. That was last week. And then I said to her, "Could you stay here for one more week?" And he told me, "Why?" "Oh, I have more stools. I want to see if I can help more." And he organized everything in her country. He was here one more week. We did phototherapy, and we did BT.
Mm.
1 week, only 1 week.
Right.
He improved so many things: attention, visual acuity, balance. He was happier. He uh, many things that the mother said. Why everybody don't know that you exist? And
Mhm.
I say, well, it's a good question. Not me. What we do, like a group.
Sure.
And she said, I'm going to talk about your job to everybody. I'm going to say, and I invite her to, we have a association in Spain, like you have in OFDRA now. That was a COVD in the past.
Sure.
We have the same type in Spain. I'm one of the fundators, and right now I'm the president. I invite her to come to our Congress with other doctors to understand what we do. And she said, absolutely, I'm going to come.
Wow.
And she asked me, there is no one in Romania who does this. And I say, yes, no one. You told me which is your favorite case. It's every week almost.
Yeah.
That was this week. And I'm still with my feet not floating the floor. I feel so proud to belong to this group of optometrists
Yeah.
that really we change lives.
Yeah.
That, we sent her some work to do in Romania. I'm going to follow the case online, and they're going to come back in October
Mhm.
to do an intensive work again for a couple of weeks.
Okay.
Wow. Wow. Imagine, to come from another country with this type of boy with so many problems, and to find someone that can help you. It's great. But I have these stories with patient with brain injury. We had diplopia. I have one in my website. It's in Spanish. I need to subtitles in English. I have one with a subtitle in English. Uh, it was a man with 70 years old. That is one of my favorite also. That came after COVID.
Mhm.
That after the vaccination, he had a problem in the heart and double vision.
Oh, wow.
The doctor fixed the problem in the heart, but they couldn't fix the double vision.
Mhm.
So he put a patch himself. He couldn't do anything. He couldn't drive. He couldn't. And in the same day he came, I yes prescribed a Fresnel prison.
Mm.
What is not so difficult, you understand? And he see once again.
Mm.
Once again, he was crying. The wife was crying. I was very emotional too. We were doing BT, That was a special case. We solved in 3 months. That is not the average, of course.
Right.
But in this case, syntonic was the key,
Okay.
you know? So with this syntonic, we reduced the double vision a lot, the prism a lot. And then we finished the case with BT. And now it's maybe 3 years that he did everything. He keeps being perfect.
Wow.
He sent me dozens of patients. And he said, why people don't know that? And I say, a good question, sad question, very sad question, because in a beautiful world, we should be collaborating with a neurologist, ophthalmologist, and another optometrist.
Right.
And when they receive one of these patients and they don't know what to do, they will be very happy to send to us.
Yeah.
And they don't send to us because 2 reasons. One, the most important, is because they don't know we exist.
Hmm.
That is the main reason. They don't know we exist.
Yeah.
And secondly, at least in my country, most of the optometrists are people who sell glasses and fit contact lenses and do the compensatory lenses. And they think that all optometrists we do the same. They never thought that there is different approaches, different studies, and you can find an expert in other field in optometry. They
Yeah.
don't know that.
Right.
And the third group, that is the group I like less, of course, is because we are not physicians,
Yeah.
you know, and that happen a lot. Not only in optometry, also in physiotherapists or speech therapists or many others,
Right.
psychologists with psychiatrists, and that is sad also. I can choose to be a physician or to be a different thing. I chose to be optometrist
Hmm.
because I work in a different things. But many physicians think if you are not a physician, you you are out of this, and that is also sad.
It is.
And people think if you are not a physician, you cannot work with the brain, for instance.
Hmm. Well,
And
I think a lot of people
they are wrong.
put it in the same category as um, alternative things like chiropractic, you know, and
Yeah,
it's still coming around to
yeah.
the point
They
where
think we are. Yeah, I agree. There is here in Spain. There is a big campaign against many things that are not science. You understand, between quotes, and we are there.
yeah.
Please, there is a lot of research. That first. And secondly, even in medicine, you have to prove something in the clinical part before you do a research. If
Mhm.
not, the medicine cannot go ahead. What happened with cancer? How many uh, people are trying, something that is not proof,
Mhm.
but they do anyway? Because, I'm happy that the research exists. It's not that I don't happy. But I think that some people have lose the head with that completely.
Yeah.
So if you cannot do and prove a double blind with blah 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 to publish in the most journal in the planet, what you do is something is not worth.
Right.
Please, what happened with you know, with some drops for glaucoma? Or maybe, I don't know if you know that, for instance, the bipolar depression, I
Mhm.
don't know if you don't know that is treated with lithium.
That.
They have no idea how it works.
Oh.
They no idea.
Mhm.
The In the bipolar disease, the psychiatrists send lithium. They don't know the mechanism.
Mhm.
They don't know how aspirin decrease the fever yet,
Yeah.
and it's something normal. So if the medicine uses these type of things, is okay, although it's not proved by science.
Mhm.
But if a person that is not a physician use any tool, we are what we are. Alternative means it that we don't know what to do. We are witches or what we are.
Yeah.
You know, it's sad. Also, again, I think that the word that I'm happy to use today is sad, because how many people are not be helped? How many people are with so many problems that nobody can help because they really believe what the other people said, because we don't have a double blind research on that.
Yeah. So
But that is the reason that some of the people like you or me or another, and many people are always fighting,
mm,
fighting, you know,
yeah.
and we don't shut up. We say what we think.
Exactly. We
Yes.
definitely say what we think. What can we do more than we're doing to help people understand the different options that they actually have when we're treating
Okay.
strabismus and amblyopia?
I don't know. Because I speak, I write books,
Yeah.
I give lectures, I give, I go, everybody who calls me,
Mhm.
I always there, to talk.
Sure. Yeah.
And I don't have a lot of time, but I think that is a priority.
Yeah.
Is the way I understand, and I'm not afraid.
Mhm.
It doesn't mean that I'm happy, you know, because some people sometimes talk about me very ugly, things, or against me or whatever. I don't care. I think that when your goal is bigger than you,
Mhm.
uh, then you don't care. And my goal is, I don't know if I will see that, or maybe I will be in other dimension.
Mhm.
But my goal and Dr. Sanet's goal and our goal is that even one child in the world has to have a patch in the future. Even one. That people laugh when they study in the books. Oh my God, people wear patch when they have 200, but this is a binocular problem. How were they doing this? That was an anecdote, like
Mm.
now, for instance, when you read things like the psychiatrist treated some problems taking out part of the brain.
Mhm.
Now it's like, oh my God,
Right.
was part of the process. And I watch in the past. But in the moment I understood what the science is telling us for years, I understood I have to find another way.
Right.
So it's my responsibility to find another way, or to accept another way, or to treat another way that someone else give to me an idea how to do it. So this is my goal, and I work for that. And I'm going that we will get it. Absolutely, I have no doubt.
Mhm.
But I don't know if I will be alive to see. That I don't know.
Okay, that's a great goal. A world where no one uses patches to treat amblyopia. I like that.
Exactly. That is my goal. That is my goal.
Great. So, I know you do a lot with brain injury patients too. What can you tell us about recognizing when you have a brain injury that needs vision therapy as opposed to
Yeah.
whatever else other people would do for a brain injury?
I think that we have like three big groups of people that we treat that are very alone when they have visual problems, and people don't recognize the visual problems like part or big part of the problem. The first group is learning problems.
Mhm.
The second group is that amblyopia and strabismus. That is, they know that is a visual problem, but they don't understand that this more. beyond that 2020 visual acuity, and and also that is not just surgery.
Right.
And the third group is patient with brain injury and concussions.
Right.
Not so. First, people think that brain injury patients have to be someone who had been in the hospital because had an accident and is a dramatic, problem. And yes, yes, but there is much more that are mild brain injury,
Right.
or they had a concussion in sports or in your life. Many children, because it's very easy to bump with something. And if you think that 55% of the neurons belong to the visual system, and all the lobes in the brain and all parts in the brain are related in some way with the visual system,
Mhm.
also the cerebellum, also the brainstem, also, blah, 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 so many. It's very easy that something is not going well after you have this problem. But if your thought that is the problem in learning problem and in this group, especially, if your and also in amblyopia and strabismus in some way, if your thought is that vision is synonymous or 2020 sight, you don't understand anything about this,
Mhm.
you know, because we have so many skills related with vision that we use in a normal way in our life every day, and we never think about that. That is so easy that we have a problem in a if we have an accident or a mild brain injury, and our life can be destroyed.
Mhm.
I cannot be read again. I cannot um, walk well again. I cannot have balance well again. I cannot think well again. I cannot have a visual memory good again. I can have, you know, a, a, so many things, a list of symptoms. They can go to the NORA website in United States. And if someone who listen this podcast think, oh, that is interesting. Maybe there's a list of symptoms
Mhm.
that you can see if you have it that are not only not to see 2020. And the the good news is that there is a part of optometrists. I do also this, that we work with the brain, and we can reconnect some part of the brain that have been interrupted. We can to do new connections in the brain that this brain began working better. We can do many things with all the tools that we have to give another opportunity and uh, to give them their life back again many, many times.
Yeah.
And or to improve their quality of life. Maybe the problem is so severe that we cannot solve absolutely, but tumors that have been removed, people who have had a stroke,
Mm.
not only an accident. And that is in my new book. I have some questions about that,
Mhm.
but really the website and Nora, they have a lot of, and every day I have more and more patients with that because I work very hard to give lectures
Mhm.
and to give information so
Right.
people can understand how we can help them.
Nice. So there's more people learning that they can have a better quality of life if they treat that traumatic brain injury with vision therapy, right?
Yeah, I'm going to give you an example with a patient.
Okay.
Uh, Maybe that was 7 or 8 months ago. That is a dramatic one, okay?
Mhm.
But I can give you a not so dramatic for this week. uh, a boy, 23, 24, had a very severe car accident and was in a wheelchair, okay?
Mhm.
Very traumatic. He almost died. After 2 years, listen well. working with him with many, many things, but was in the wheelchair. He couldn't walk. So he was recovering, but he couldn't walk. He stand up and he sit down again. So Sunday, one speech therapist who have listened to me in a lecture said, "Why you don't go to see Pilar Vergara? I think she works with this type of person." He came, he had a functional visual field so small, like a 5 degrees, and the this peripheral awareness is completely related with balance
Right.
and is not related with speed.
Mm.
So he had 20/20,
Hmm.
and he doesn't have balance.
Right.
So I did for syntonic, and I put a special lenses, and with training,
Hmm.
now he's working.
Wow.
So absolutely is not always like that.
Hmm.
You can have a different type of problem that you cannot work, but
Right.
also we have to consider how important is vision for balance.
Yes.
This week I have a different one. No, this week not. Last week, a very sport 23 or 24 man who have a punch. You say a punch in the eye
Mm.
in a soccer match.
Okay.
He have an injury. The ophthalmologist care about the injury, and when he finished and everything was well, he said, "But I'm not okay."
Mm.
And the ophthalmologist said, "Yes, you are okay." No, when I turn my head to the left, I feel dizzy.
Hmm.
I'm slower. I'm an engineer in computers. I'm slower. I feel not well, but I have two screens. And that didn't happen to me before.
Right.
The ophthalmologist said, "It's your brain because your eye is okay."
Right.
He came to me. I did the evaluation. Absolutely, he had visual problems. And these only 2 weeks we are treating him.
Hmm.
He recovered, I don't know, 70%. He come back to do a sport. He's so happy. And I said, if you want to recover more, now we have to do BT because we use the lenses. I use syntonic again, and I use a sectorial occlusion with him. And he was so happy, but he came by accident here also. If his brother is a physiotherapist, and he heard about me.
Mm.
And this man said, "And what was going to happen with my life if I don't met you?" And he said, sad, very sad. So you see, this is two streams, one very, very severe, he couldn't walk.
Right.
And the other one, it seems like everything was well, but he was slower. He was dizzy when he turns the head to the left. He
Mm.
cannot do a sport again.
Yeah.
But both of them diminish their quality of life
Yeah.
because vision
Yeah.
problems.
Right. And that's not the first thing that people think of when they have those kinds of issues. They don't think, oh, it has to be my vision. It's,
Oh, not the first. They don't
yeah,
think about it.
yeah, exactly. So I think it's
Well, some
important.
people have the intuition, you know?
Mm.
This man, the second one, have the intuition. He said, something is wrong with my vision. I don't know what it is,
Mm.
but it's with my vision. He had the intuition. But when you go to one doctor, another doctor, and all of them say, no, everything is okay,
Yeah.
then you begin to think, oh, maybe it's true. I need to go to the psychologist or to the
Well,
psychiatrist.
they say it's in your head, but they're not
Yeah, because
actually
they say
telling
it's in
you the
your head.
truth that it's in your head, but
It's,
it's your brain and you
oh,
need to
yeah,
see the
it's in
right
your head, your
doctor.
brain. Exactly. It's in your head. But, I had a testimony in my website about another woman who had a bus. Um, I don't know how you say in English. He was crossing the street and a bus, how you say,
Bus,
bumped her.
a bus hit her.
And
Okay.
yeah, she had a brain injury. And she was in the psychologists and psychiatrists treating by depression
Mhm.
for some months, and the problem was visual.
Yeah.
So, but finally, she was thinking, oh, maybe they are right. And, they cure some part of the body that was hurt. But all the time she said, I see well, but I don't see well. She uses this quote. So, I see well, but I don't see well.
Yeah.
So imagine the case thing, you are you are not good in your brain, You
Mhm.
need a psychologist. But she was right. Like, their sight was good, but she had problems in the spatial part.
Phase
So for
one. Yeah.
her, the world was like not stable,
Mhm.
not anymore stable. And then she felt very insecure, very insecure.
Right.
Again, we use the lenses in a very special way and we solve it.
Mm.
With that, I want to say that we don't solve all the problems in the planet.
Right.
Yeah, no, I want to be clear with that because
Sure.
maybe I'm very passionate and you too. And then talking maybe, oh, this woman think that she can solve everything. Absolutely not. I
Right.
wish,
Yeah.
but it's not, you know. But we help many, many, many people. And that is true. Completely true.
Right.
And there is mm, groups of optometry like me in many countries.
Mhm.
So they have to look for and to if one doesn't help you, it doesn't mean that another one can help you.
Right.
Maybe the first one doesn't have enough knowledge.
Yeah.
I'm very stubborn, so I keep looking for myself, even for my health problems.
Yeah.
Always. So, and I also takes responsibility. I always say to my patient a thing that I think is very important. I say, you have a visual problem. I don't know if I have the knowledge to fix it or not to fix it.
Mhm.
If I don't have the knowledge, it doesn't mean that it cannot be fixed.
Right.
Maybe you find someone else who can fix it, or maybe in the future we have other tools to fix it.
Right.
But I take responsibility because I'm a person who thinks that most of the things can be fixed, but we don't have the knowledge to do it.
Mhm. I agree. Yeah. I feel like most things can be fixed too, but we have to figure out exactly what the issue is and then come to the solution because we've
Mhm.
gone through all that
Yes, and
process.
also another important point. I think that you need to find a doctor, an optometrist, a doctor, whatever, that cares.
Mhm.
Because now in the world, many people don't care.
Yeah.
And that is something, I'm a neurological person with problems. I had a tumor in my back in the colon when I was 27 years old.
Wow.
And then I had a lot of side effects, neurological side effects.
Mhm.
And so I have a big empathy with a group of brain injury and with all the patients
Yeah.
because I was this type of patient who go one doctor to another doctor to another doctor to try to be helped.
Yeah.
And the only thing makes me feel well is when I find someone who cares
Right.
because I found so many who really didn't care,
Mhm.
you know?
Yeah.
So if they didn't care, what can I expect?
Right.
So look someone that really cares.
That is great advice. I feel very blessed that I did find a doctor that really cared.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When the doctor cares, you know you know in the moment.
Yeah.
And maybe you are younger, maybe you don't have all the knowledge, but because you care,
Mhm.
you try to study, you call your colleagues, you try to put no 100, you put 300, with the patient, because I want to help you. Absolutely, the knowledge is important. Of
Mhm,
course, you can to care. You can care. You can have a very good you know attitude, but if you don't have knowledge, so these two things,
mhm.
knowledge and care. But if you don't have, if you only have knowledge, it's not a good. Usually, it's not enough.
Yeah.
No, you need someone who cares.
That is wonderful advice. Yeah, I totally agree with that. Well, I know I've kept you a long time today, and you have things to do that you need to get to, so we'll probably
Yeah,
need
I
to
was so
wrap it
so
up
well
for today.
talking with you that the time of fly. I don't know how you say in English. We say in Spanish, we say el tiempo vuela. That
Ah,
means in literally in English is like the time flies.
mhm, that's how we say it.
Okay, we say the same.
Yes, it did.
Thank you
It's
very
fine.
much to invite me. Was very really an honor, and I wish that some people can listen this podcast and think, oh, maybe someone can help me. I have this or have the other thing. There's other options. Uh, I wish.
I think they will. I appreciate it, and we'll
Thank you
have
to you.
to catch up again at another point in time, and hopefully you'll have that book in English, and then I can tell everyone that your 3rd book is in English for them to read.
Oh yeah, I need. Well, I want to do both.
The first
Because
one
some
and the
people,
3rd, yeah.
yeah, because some people told me, oh, there is hundreds of book like your first book in English that is related with learning, and I say no. Related with learning, yes, but like my book, it's only my book.
Right, right.
you know, every book
True.
is different.
Yep.
Every book is different, and you can take some pearls or some keys or some from this book, from the other book, and maybe some people can benefit from my book. I
Mhm.
write in a way like very simple,
Yes. I
and yeah, it's my gift.
yeah.
You know, I
And
can communicate with simple words, and I can explain difficult things in a simple way,
mhm,
and it's my gift. And so I deserve. I think that is my obligation to use my gift to help people, giving them information.
yes.
So I want to translate this, and I want to translate the third one,
Yeah,
both.
great. We're gonna have to work on that together somehow.
Oh yeah, could be great. Maybe yes. Maybe it's the only way. Because I have tons of uh, priority things, and then I say, okay, that next month, and because I don't find the time, like I say always, I cannot clone myself. Is the time is limited.
Right. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna give that some more thought.
Thank you not only for the interview, thank you for all the podcasts that you do to give the opportunity to the people to have these stories, to share, to find a secure place to share, and so people can have this. This is gold. It's gold. So thank you,
Oh,
thank you.
I appreciate that. It's my pleasure.